Then a few days ago, things got so much worse. Lynn left to go to a friend's, and I lounged on the couch and I played a couple games on my laptop. And around 9 p.m., I hopped in the shower and I was washing the shampoo from my hair. I felt that awful feeling that I was being watched. I slowly opened my eyes and I almost had a fucking heart attack. Lynn was peeking from behind the shower curtain, her entire head stretched into the shower, leaving just her body outside. Her long dark hair hung against the curtain, the ends dripping with water. Her mouth hung open in a terrible grin, eyes wide and red as if she hadn't blinked in a while. I screamed and jumped back against the wall. She didn't even move, nor did her smile waver. Her makeup ran down her cheeks in two black streaks. She looked giddy and completely deranged. I was fucking terrified. We stood like that for a few moments, neither of us saying a word. Finally, after that, what felt like forever, she slowly pulled her head back out of the shower, and I watched her blurry figure through the curtain as she moved backwards towards the bathroom door. A second later, the bathroom door slammed shut hard enough to rattle the mirror. I screamed again and I jumped out of the shower to lock the door. I stayed inside the bathroom for over an hour. Maybe I overreacted to some of you, but joke or not, I wasn't going to be putting up with this crazy shit anymore. That was what I kept telling myself as I paced in the bathroom, stopping to listen at the door every few minutes. Suddenly, I heard a muffled sound, and I pressed my ear against the bathroom door, straining to listen. I couldn't hear anything, but I envisioned Lynn standing on the other side of the door, giggling at her joke. I was beyond pissed at being made feel scared in my own house and made to hide in the bathroom for over an hour. All for what? Some joke? If it was a joke, it was an awful one. What the fuck, Lynn? I snapped. This shit is getting really fucking annoying. I waited for her to apologize and to call me a jerk, but instead I heard a faint moan. So quiet, I wonder if I heard it at all. And then complete silence. Lynn? I call out, not being able to even hide the shakiness in my own voice. I got no response, just my own heavy breathing. I swear to God, just fucking stop it, I yelled, pounding my fist on the door. I waited for her to cuss me out, something I would expect from me talking to her like that. I never screamed at her before, but there was nothing, just the occasional drip from the shower head. Look, I won't deny that I was scared. I was too afraid to open the damn door and face my own wife. I waited another 30 minutes or so, which feels like a fucking lifetime when you're scared. Finally, I decided I wasn't going to spend the night hiding in the bathroom, so I got down on my knees and I peered under the door. I almost expected to see her face peeking back at me, but thankfully I didn't. I could see straight down the hall to the top of the stairs, but no Lynn. I didn't know if I should be happy about that or not. I looked for a few minutes, waiting to see her head pop up over the step, but it never came. I stood up, my hand hovering over the door, and mentally preparing myself to open it. I slowly turned the lock with my shaking fingers and was about to yank it open when I heard a sound that still makes me feel nauseous when I think about it. A moan louder than before. But this time, I was able to tell where it was coming from. I turned my head to the bathroom closet and locked my eyes on my wife, who was peeking out from the slight gap. Her eyes were still wide as ever, and her mouth was hanging open in the most grotesque, gaping smile I have ever seen. I didn't even scream. I was too scared for even that. Her hands were clasping to her chest, body trembling with sheer delight, as if she could barely contain her excitement. A short, raspy moan bubbled up from her throat, deep and raw, sending a shiver through my entire body. Somehow I found the ability to pull the bathroom door open, and I ran as fast as I could possibly run down the steps, snagging my keys and phone from the table in the living room before running outside to my car. I could hear her shrill laughter behind me, but I didn't hear it getting closer. I didn't bother shutting the front door. I just drove away from the house faster than I legally should have, shivering the entire time, either from the fear or the cold, maybe a little of both. I hadn't grabbed a coat or even a pair of shoes. I was still in my boxers and my hair was still damp. I drove straight to my brother Chris's house, about 40 minutes away, ignoring any and every call and text I got. I didn't even check my phone until I was safely parked in my brother's driveway. Lynn had called 4 times and sent a flurry of text messages, all wondering where I'd gone and why I left like that. I threw my phone at the dash in a rage, furious at her nonchalant attitude. My brother and his wife were surprised to see me, especially dressed in just a pair of boxers, but told me to stay as long as I needed. Chris lent me some clothes and asked me what happened. I told him Lynn and I had a fight, but I didn't go into details. I didn't want him to think I was overreacting, leaving my wife over a prank, even though it was a really strange one. I tried to sleep on their sofa, but my brain wouldn't let me sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Lynn's face staring at me from inside that closet. Knowing she had been there the entire time made my skin crawl. She never left the fucking bathroom at all. Instead, she slipped inside the closet and slammed the bathroom door to fool me. The mere thought of going back gave me anxiety. I tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Chris ended up giving me a sleeping pill, so I was able to get a little night rest. My sleep was filled with terrible dreams and all of Lynn's smiling face and her giggle. I woke up just as the sun started to rise. My sore body ached from the sofa, and I felt drained. I knew I had to call Lynn at some point, but I didn't know what to say to her. I wouldn't be going home unless she gave me her word she would never do any more of that creepy, smiling peekaboo shit again. I just wanted my wife back. Her normal self back. Her normal serious self back never looked so good to me. I was contemplating calling her and telling her that when that familiar feeling came over me. I was being watched. I was staring at the ceiling and my heart in my throat and my stomach dropped.